The most rewarding moment I have after finishing a play is being in the lobby after the show and seeing the audience coming out really enjoying themselves and having a wonderful time seeing everything that you've worked to put on. As a producer, there's no reason for them to necessarily know who you are, so it feels like watching their appreciation is all the more genuine and candid. Theater for me is having an audience, having a story told by actors, and about the exchange that happens between the two. It's about creating an experience for both the actors and especially for the audience.
And the cookies also.
Well, the more thing is they don't have a mic.
And exactly, so I think they just need to sing out.
I've been producing for about 6 years, and I started with Boston Children's Theatre in 2008. Boston Children's Theatre is one of the longest continuously running theaters in New England. We are a theater that provides a service to the city of Boston in introducing students and young people to theater for their first time, and also in providing the best training possible for young actors who want to go into theater professionally. The process of putting on a show usually starts about a year to a year and a half in advance with selecting a title, what types of actors we're going to need, who to direct the show, who to choreograph the show, who to music direct the show. To produce a musical, there are the obvious elements of having actors who can sing, dance, and act, of having a creative team that can put together all the different pieces of a musical. Every Wednesday, we have a production meeting in which we meet with all of our designers and the creative team, and we talk about issues that are concerning the production.
Almost certainly. I just emailed the photos to myself so I can get them to you to show you.
Oh, yeah.
But he would certainly have the chairs for the witness chairs and the chairs that go behind the tables, you know, the courtroom chairs.
Yep.
It's the people seating that I'm having the most trouble with. I talked to the Chester, New Hampshire Town Hall, who has perfect ones, and they said it would be a political issue.
So this first one looks fine to me. The Mauser. It'll be our sloop to Germans.
And it's is that bolt action?
Producers always deal with different issues. It's a very common issue of hearing a director's vision and seeing what a set designer and a costume designer design and trying to make that work within a very limited budget.
Kevin told me his sister is a licensed stylist, and so I'm thinking if people can't get out to see a hairstylist, we could offer for how much she charges for her to come here and just do cut after cut.
I think theater especially is always very budget driven. We're always looking as a producer at how much a project is going to cost and how we can do it cheaply and efficiently and realize the best possible result for the show.
When do we want to meet again? Next week, Wednesday? Can we go back to Wednesday at noon? It's fine by me.
Musical production is certainly a lot more work for everyone involved and a very, very different style than doing a straight play. It requires a lot of different talents, both from the creative team putting the show together and also from the technical team in getting all the pieces to fit together. Technical theater is the creative element behind putting on a theatrical production.
It's just not needed, unfortunately. And then, Danielle, you had a thought about the underwater ballet.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's still, I know we talked about doing something just a little more, just making it a little more, I don't know how else to say this, like special, like it almost seems like it takes place out of the world of the play.
About 3 months out from the opening day, we usually hold auditions.
I'm Megan McMahon. I'm 16 and I go to Sandwich High School. And I was unafraid. The dream was so exciting, but now I see it fade.
In the process of casting, we're often looking for different things, and it depends largely. If we're casting for a particular production, we have specific character traits in mind, a specific physical type sometimes, a specific voice that we want to hear. Often casting decisions have to do with an actor's height or how they look relative to another actor. We're often looking for something else too, that is trainability. We're looking for actors who really want to get better, and we're looking for the potential that they can grow. One of the things that we specialize in is college preparation for students to prepare them for the audition process. About 5 weeks out, we'll begin rehearsals, and about 1 week out, we'll have our technical rehearsals where everything comes together.
Into the underwater ballet.
Ready.
Ready!
5, 6, 7, 8.
The design process is very similar. It starts about somewhere between 4 and 6 months before the opening day of working with a set designer and a costume designer, and then beginning to work with a lighting designer once those things are established, and a sound designer as well, to bring all those different elements together.
My name is Anthony Richard Phelps. On the production of A Year with Frog and Toad, I was the lighting designer. As the lighting designer, I position where all the lights are hung. I pick their colors, how they are grouped together, and then I create the lighting looks that are on stage. Once you get into the theater, we go into tech rehearsals, and that's where I actually cue all of the lights. Then you also have the control end of things, which would be the dimmers, so that actually is the physical portion of what dims all of the lights. And then you have the control console, which is basically the computer that remembers all the different lighting looks or the lighting cues.
My name's Steve. I'm the sound designer for Boston Children's Theater.
No one will harm you, no one will dare.
I basically plot out what microphones are needed, what sound effects are needed, and try to make all that happen, coordinating all that stuff. And I try to make it sound as good as I possibly can.
There's too many points where I'm gonna have to come in and out. Lauren Callahan. I am the soundboard op for the Calderwood Pavilion. A sound check is where we test the microphones on the actors and the band to make sure that all our levels are even. The tricky part is gonna be making sure I get them back up like Frog and Toad who start ducking.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this. I run the soundboard for the show as well as load in and set up any of the sound equipment.
No touching buttons on microphones. Don't turn them off. They should stay on.
I love producing for one reason primarily, and that is the process of putting together a team. Essentially casting a staff that's going to put on the best show that we can realize.
We'll do a warm-up, get psyched, and do our opening performance. Woo!